You love your dog, right? You give them treats, you take them for walks, you even let them sleep in your bed, even though they smell like a wet garbage can sometimes. But what if I told you, your dog might secretly despise you? Don't get your feelings hurt just yet. Because today we're diving deep into the canine psyche to uncover the 7 signs your dog might secretly dislike you. Stay tuned, because you might just learn something that could save your relationship with your furry best friend. Alright, so you're sitting there, right? Maybe watching some TV, scrolling through your phone, or just contemplating the existential dread of existence. You know, the usual, life's big questions like why are we here, what's the meaning of it all? And then, in the midst of your deep thoughts, you glance over at your furry companion, hoping to catch their eye and share a moment of mutual adoration. Maybe you're thinking about how much joy they bring into your life or how their wagging tail can brighten even the darkest of days. But wait, what's this? They're looking away, not just a casual glance away, but a deliberate turn of the head. Oh, they're just being cute, you think? Wrong! This isn't just a quirky behavior, it's a signal, a message from your dog that something might be amiss. This, my friend, could be the first sign of trouble in paradise. It might seem trivial, but in the world of canine communication, it's a big deal. You see, dogs are masters of nonverbal communication. They don't need words to express their feelings. Their body language speaks volumes. They speak with their eyes, their ears, even their tails. A wagging tail can mean happiness, excitement, or even anxiety, depending on the context. And when a dog consistently avoids your gaze, it could mean they're feeling uncomfortable or even fearful around you. This isn't something to ignore. Now, before you start panicking and building a doggy panic room, let's not jump to conclusions. There could be many reasons for this behavior. It could just be a temporary thing. Maybe they're distracted by a noise outside, or they're just not in the mood for eye contact at that moment. But if it's a regular occurrence, it's time to start paying attention to your pup's body language. Look for other signs of discomfort or anxiety. Are they tucking their tail, flattening their ears, or showing the whites of their eyes? These are all indicators that something might be wrong. Building a strong bond with your dog means understanding their unique ways of communicating. Spend time observing them, learning their signals, and responding with love and care. Remember, a happy dog is a healthy dog, and a healthy dog is one that feels safe and understood. So next time your dog averts their gaze, take a moment to consider what they might be trying to tell you. It could be the key to a deeper, more fulfilling relationship with your furry friend. Have you ever noticed your dog disappearing for hours on end? You might think they're just off on some grand adventure, exploring the hidden nooks and crannies of your home. But what if there's more to it than that? No, not just like a quick nap under the bed. We're talking about those times when you can't find them anywhere and you start to wonder if they've somehow managed to teleport to another dimension. I'm talking full-on vanishing acts worthy of a magician's stage show. It's as if they've mastered the art of invisibility, leaving you puzzled and maybe even a little worried. Well, I hate to break it to you, but your dog might not be practicing their disappearing act for a future career in entertainment. Instead, they could be trying to tell you something important. They might be trying to get away from you. Yes, you heard that right. It might be hard to accept, but sometimes our furry friends need a break from us too. I know it's harsh, but think about it. When we humans are feeling stressed or overwhelmed, we often seek out solitude, right? We find a quiet corner, take a deep breath, and try to calm our minds. But think about it. When we humans are feeling stressed or overwhelmed, we often seek out solitude, right? We find a quiet corner, take a deep breath, and try to calm our minds. It's a natural response to feeling overwhelmed. Well, dogs are no different. They have their own ways of coping with stress and anxiety. Sometimes that means finding a quiet spot where they can feel safe and secure, away from the hustle and bustle of daily life. They need their space too, and if they're constantly hiding or seeking refuge in the farthest corners of your home, it could be a sign they're not feeling safe or happy in your presence. It's important to pay attention to these signals and try to understand what might be causing their distress. So what can you do about it? Start by creating a calm and peaceful environment for your dog. Make sure they have a safe space where they can retreat whenever they need to. Spend quality time with them, but also respect their need for alone time. Pay attention to their body language and behavior. If they seem anxious or stressed, try to identify any potential triggers and address them. Sometimes, just a little extra love and understanding can make a big difference. Remember, your dog is a member of your family, and their well-being is just as important as anyone else's. By being attentive and responsive to their needs, you can help them feel safe, happy, and loved. Okay, this one's a bit more obvious. I mean, it's not exactly rocket science, right? If your dog is growling or snapping at you, chances are they're not exactly thrilled with your existence at that particular moment. But here's the thing, growling and snapping aren't always signs of outright aggression. Sometimes they're a dog's way of saying, hey, back off, I'm not comfortable with this. Think of it like a warning shot across the bow. They're trying to communicate their discomfort before things escalate. So, if your furry friend starts flashing those pearly whites and letting out a low growl, don't just punish them. Try to figure out what's making them uncomfortable and address the issue. Alright, let's talk about everyone's favorite subject, food. More specifically, your dog's lack of enthusiasm for it when you're around. Now, we all know dogs love to eat. I mean, they'd eat the crumbs off a dirty gym sock if you let them. So, when your usually ravenous pup suddenly turns their nose up at their food bowl when you're nearby, it's a major red flag. This could be a sign of stress, anxiety, or even fear. They're associating your presence with negative emotions, and it's affecting their appetite. So, if your dog is suddenly engaging in a hunger strike, it's time to do some serious soul-searching and figure out what you're doing to make them so uneasy. Faces, but nothing seems to work. They just keep doing their own thing, completely oblivious to your efforts. Yeah, it's not a good feeling, is it? Well, imagine how your dog feels when you're trying to give them a command, and they just stare at you with those big innocent eyes as if to say, "What? I don't understand." It's like they're in their own little world, and you're just a background noise. This can be particularly disheartening if you've spent a lot of time and effort training them. You want me to do something? Yeah, that's a sign your dog might be losing respect for you. But don't worry, it's not the end of the world. This doesn't mean your dog doesn't love you, or that they're being intentionally defiant. Often it's a sign that there's a disconnect in your communication, or that your training methods need a little tweaking. And no, I'm not talking about the kind of respect you demand from your underlings when you finally achieve world domination. I'm talking about the mutual respect that forms the foundation of a strong, healthy relationship between you and your dog. This respect is built on trust, consistency, and clear communication. It's about being a reliable leader who your dog can look up to and depend on. I'm talking about the basic level of respect that comes from being a consistent and reliable leader. When your dog knows what to expect from you, they're more likely to follow your commands and behave appropriately. This doesn't mean you have to be harsh or overly strict. It means setting clear boundaries, being patient, and rewarding good behavior. If your dog is constantly ignoring your commands, it's time to step up your training game and show them who's boss. Start by reassessing your training techniques. Are you being consistent with your commands? Are you using positive reinforcement to encourage good behavior? Sometimes, small adjustments can make a big difference. Remember, training is an ongoing process, and it's never too late to improve your skills and strengthen your bond with your dog. So take a deep breath, stay patient, and keep working at it. Your dog will thank you for it. They bark, they howl, they whine, they even make those weird snuffling noises when they're sleeping. It's all part of their charm, right? But when that barking turns excessive and seems specifically directed at you, it's time to start worrying. Think of it like this: your dog is trying to communicate something to you, but you're just not getting the message. They're frustrated, they're uncomfortable, and they're letting you know in the only way they know how, by barking their little hearts out. So next time your furry friend starts channeling their inner opera singer, don't just yell at them to be quiet. Try to figure out what's setting them off and address the issue. Well, not always. You see, a dog's tail is like a mood ring. It can tell you a lot about how they're feeling. And when that tail is tucked between their legs, it's a sure sign they're feeling anxious, fearful, or stressed. Now, a tucked tail doesn't necessarily mean your dog hates you. It just means they're not feeling comfortable or confident in that particular moment. So if you see your dog sporting the dreaded tail tuck, don't just ignore it. Try to figure out what's making them uneasy and address the issue. Dogs are complex creatures, and their behavior can be influenced by a variety of factors. If you love dogs and want to strengthen your bond, hit that subscribe button for more amazing insights. Remember, a happy dog is a well-behaved dog. So go forth and be the best dog owner you can be.